attitudes of prison staff towards prison education. Well, we're now getting a lot of younger officers in, replacing some of those who held very conservative views on what prison should be about. Many regarded prison as a place where there should be punitive approach. Many regarded Mr. Smith, the welfare officer or education officer, anybody else like this, an intruder who perhaps made them retreat into the background and perhaps took away some of the duties and responsibilities which was theirs in early years. But by and large, I think one has to work surreptitiously, as it were, furtively, at establishing the right kind of relationship with the uniformed staff, because you require their cooperation in many ways. And it's essential to have this growing relationship with them, so that in actual fact, when you ask them to do anything, they feel as though they are involved, even though you know perfectly well they are not directly involved. But it gives them a feeling that
they're contributing.
They're involved, yes. Most of the officers here are, by and large, fairly average in IQ. Some of them are pretty limited, I think, in expressing themselves in writing, not in form, but in writing. And therefore I think their attitude is hardened in some ways too towards the educational system when they realise that, as I said downstairs, their children are in class of 36 and 40s, and here we're giving criminals the opportunity to be taught in groups of 4 to 5s. They see a certain amount of injustice in that. But towards me, what I try to do, I find there is no obstruction at all from the government downwards. But this is something which someone in my position has to work at. It doesn't just come, it isn't there. In fact, when I did come here 4 or 5 years ago, it wasn't there. And I had to work very hard, without making it too obvious, at establishing the right kind of relationship. So, having said that, I would say that there is a new attitude coming into the prison now with younger officers who are accepting education as part of the penal system, as part of the therapeutic treatment toward prisoners, and they are accepting it without question, whereas the others felt it was an intrusion. There is one other thing which goes a great deal towards them when they are themselves studying for exams, promotions. They come to me, I mark their papers and try to assist them towards the exam. This helps as well. Attitudes of prisoners towards education in prison, well, I think that's more or less the kind of thing we said about 2, isn't it?
Yes.
Their attitude is one that, well, because they have many distractions, if they come along, we know they're coming along because they want to, not because they have to. Education as a form of rehabilitation, well, you and I as educationists obviously feel that we like to think we're contributing towards society, and in a situation like this, I would say that if we can turn a man out who previously couldn't read or write, we've done much towards a better rehabilitation, giving him a better chance. If we turn a man out who can't learn, I have 5 signal levels this summer, then obviously we're giving them a better chance. If we turn a man out who can produce, a lamp from a bottle, we've taught him perhaps a skill which he didn't know he had. If we give him the opportunity to paint, and he said he couldn't paint toffees before, then he might well find he had some sort of hidden talent which was never expressed. So in general terms, I would say, and obviously I'm biased, that what we try to do is very contributing towards rehabilitation. And I can't see education, whether it's on the inside of the prison wall or the outside, as being anything else.
Yeah, this is it. This is what I was saying earlier. If we see it as valuable outside, then surely it's valuable inside.
Indeed. Yeah. So, I mean, as I said, we're both biased, but the fact is I'm certain that we would agree on that when you become a teacher, anything you contribute towards a child's life in the future must be an advantage. Anything I contribute towards a prisoner's life in the future must also be a double advantage, because he is against it. The society has a feeling against him, having been himself. And unless he's lucky, he's going to have to struggle very hard to live it down.
This is one of the biggest problems in many ways, isn't it? The same with mental patients. The public have got
Think about it.
a certain attitude, attach a certain stigma to them, you know, which is changing probably, you know.
Yes, you see, in these days of high unemployment, I mean, what chance has a man got who's come out of a prison sentence, particularly if he's been in for a sex offence or something of this, or child pressing? This kind of
immediately a stereotype image.
Right. Success of prisoners, well, again, who can really judge? Who can guess? If you ask me what success I've had with prisoners who have taken O-level, I haven't had a great deal of them taking O-level, but those who have had O-level papers have not failed. We've had them doing craft work O-level. I had a man here recently who had, he took French and he took Spanish. He got a grade 1 in Spanish and he got a grade 1 in French. Can't be better than that. We have had several who've done English O-level, English lit. We've had additional maths, craft, and we have not, as at this point of time, in the last few years, like 20 or 30, we have not yet had a failure. These again are the people whose attitudes and motivation are such that they want to succeed, and therefore they come in their own free will. So that sums that up all as well, doesn't it? General information concerning education of prisoners, I think you'd find that a lot of that is contained there. And public opinion to education in prison, Sheila, I think you'd be able to answer this one better than I would.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure by discussing this with your colleagues, your parents, your aunts, your uncles, someone you might have a drink with, your boyfriend,
Mind you, often when you do talk to people, they come out with the sort of stereotype view, and then when you've spoken to them a bit, you know, they suddenly start to think and think, well, you know, maybe that's right, you know, maybe it is a good thing.
When you get a well-considered opinion, when you get a rational opinion from people, though, you will find, I think, that there are people who say it's a mixed society. We have people who will say, yes, I think they ought to be educated. I think perhaps if they come back in society educated, or a bit more learned, a bit more taught, a bit more able to express themselves, society will benefit. On the other hand, you perhaps say people, our taxes are high enough, why should you spend any more? So there we have the division. Whether majority or minority may be in percentage-wise, I wouldn't like to even hazard a guess.
Well, a lot of people don't see prisoners as inadequate people, do they?
Oh, no.
Who need help and treatment.
Many of them regard them, as indeed some of them are, very wily individuals, very crafty, very clever, very skilled at their particular trade, which is crime.
The professionals.
Quite. And therefore, as far as I'm concerned, I feel inside the wall that in some instances it's money well spent, then sometimes I have doubts about it and I think it might taxes burn up. So this is a subjective view, but an objective view I would suggest you would get from your colleagues in the college, your mum, your dad, your aunts, your uncles, your cousins and your aunts. This I think is where you would get the answer to number 8. So I've more or less been through these, Sheila.
That's really fine.
1 to 2 hours.
Yeah, I think you've answered most of the 18 things I've got on here, so that's fine, and I've got all this information, so...
Good, that's fine.
That's really...
quite happy about that. Now to get down to practicalities of that, then I think if we get downstairs, you'll see 3 classes in operation. I'm trying to get you the opportunity of talking to